Christian Times presents World Christian News. Over 100 church attacks in Syria since start of civil war. The long-running conflict in Syria is taking a terrible toll on the country's people, but a new report reveals the tragic scale of the damage being done to its historic churches too. A new report by the Syrian Network for Human Rights (SNHR) says that there has been at least 124 attacks on Christian places of worship between March 2011 and September 2019. The report counted as an attack any bombing of a church or appropriation of the building for use as a military base. SNHR is based in Qatar, blamed the majority of these attacks on government forces as it accused President Bashar al-Assad of fomenting and exploiting sectarianism and being indifferent to the damage being inflicted on its ancient churches. The report said despite places of worship being designated as cultural and religious properties that should be protected, heavy and continuous aerial bombardment across Syria has resulted in the partial or total destruction of a large number of places of worship. It added, targeting of Christian places of worship is a form of intimidation against and displacement of Christian minority in Syria. The report claims that the Assad regime was behind at least 75 separate attacks carried out in 48 churches in the 8 years since the civil war began. 33 attacks against 21 churches were attributed to rebel groups, and the Islamic State was found to be responsible for 10 attacks on 8 churches. A further 2 churches attack was attributed to Al-Qaeda offshoot Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. The Syrian regime has always invoked good slogans, but on the ground it has done the opposite, said Fadel Abdul Ghani, SNHR chairman. While the regime claims that it has not committed any violations and that it is keen on protecting the Syrian state and the rights of the minorities, it has carried out qualitative operations in suppressing and terrorizing all those who sought political change and reform, regardless of religion or race, and of whether this causes the destruction of the heritage of Syria and the displacement of its minorities. Syria will not become calm without transition to democracy and respect for human rights. Reports christiantoday.co.in. New law in Himachal Pradesh puts pastor under risk of being sentenced 7 years. After the new anti-conversion law, officially known as the Freedom of Religious Acts, was passed in Himachal Pradesh, the state pastors could be jailed for 1 to 5 years or 7 years if involved in illegal conversion of Dalits, minors, and women. The law also requires people who wish to convert and their pastors to produce a letter declaring their intention to a district magistrate 1 month in advance. In 8 states where the anti-conversion law is passed, Christians are often targeted and accused of forced conversions. Many Christian leaders in the country see the law being used as an excuse to persecute and imprison Christians under fake charges. Slamming the state government over the new law, President of the Global Council of Indian Christians, Sanjan K. George, said that anti-conversion laws are a tool to harass vulnerable Christians and discriminate against religious minorities. They can plant seeds of sectarian suspicion among communities that have lived together in a peaceful manner and can be used against the weakest in society, in particular Dalits, women and children, George said. Accusers misinterpreting the anti-conversion laws has led to many mob attacks, where Christians and other minorities in the country are persecuted and are under continuous risk. Reports christiantoday.co.in. Christian girl forced to convert to Islam in Pakistan. Faiza was taken to a seminary in Shekhupura city, some 50 kilometers from Lahore, by her school principal Salima Bibi, who forced her to embrace Islam. In the third incident of conversion of girls from minority communities in over a week, a 15-year-old Christian girl was allegedly forced to convert to Islam by her teacher in Pakistan's Punjab province. According to a complaint filed by the girl's father, Mukhtar Masih, at a police station, Faiza was taken to a seminary in Shekhupura city, some 50 kilometers from Lahore, by her school principal Salima Bibi, who forced her to embrace Islam. Mukhtar said, "The girl had gone to school on Wednesday but did not return home. We contacted the school to inquire about her. A class teacher told us that Principal Salima Bibi had taken our girl to a madrasa seminary to convert her to Islam," he said. Mukhtar said they visited at least 3 seminaries and found her in one of them, but the staff did not allow her to return with them. Police raided the seminary on the basis of the complaint, recovered the girl and shifted her to Dural Amam shelter home in Shekhupura. We took action and recovered the girl on Mukhtar Mashi's complaint, but FIR has not been registered against anyone yet. However, we are investigating the matter, Muhammad Nawaz, the police official investigating the case, said. The girl told her parents that as she was reading Arabic in school, her teacher said she had automatically become a Muslim. The police had also offered us to convert to Islam, and in return, she could compensate us by paying for our needs. But we refused, Mukhtar said. The parents of the girl have appealed to the authorities to allow her daughter to return home. On September 3rd, a Hindu girl was allegedly abducted and converted to Islam in Pakistan's Sindh province. A teenage Sikh girl was allegedly abducted and converted to Islam before being married to a Muslim man in the country's Punjab province on August 30th, as reported in India Today.